Good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
So as part of continuation to group discussion, so now what you all need to do is you just look at the screen, you just look at the picture and then try to understand what exactly happening in this picture. You just look at the picture and try to understand what exactly happening there. Just give me your inputs. So we discussed some part of group discussion yesterday, correct?
Correct.
So what does it mean by group discussion? What are the prerequisites of group discussion like that? So we discussed some part of group discussion. Now we need to continue further. Before we are going to continue further, just look at the picture and try to understand what you are able to understand by looking at this picture.
Debate.
Yeah, it's like it's like debate. Okay. Any other concepts?
It's
Maintain
not
the discipline.
looks like they are quarreling with each other.
Okay, it looks like they are quarreling. Good.
Not listening to boss.
Right. They are not listening to the boss. Okay, good.
Not listening to each other.
They're not
Everyone
listening to
is
each other.
shouting.
Okay. See, if you observe, every person has been, for every person, we have given some inputs. Like, they are thinking. It just shows that they are thinking. Right? The first person thinking like his points are invalid. This is his perception, his way of thinking. Next, second person, when will I get to speak? She is eagerly awaiting for opportunity to speak. And the third person, he stood from the chair and he kept his hand on the table and he is showing his index finger and has been shouting on the opposite person that I'm right, I know everything, like that, right? The next person thinking that I should change my view, he could be right, right? The next lady thinking that I'm not interested, she's feeling she's not interested, right? So if you observe all these pictures, by then you'll be able to understand a particular concept. What are the things we need to do in a group discussion? What are the things we need to avoid in the group discussion? You just look at the picture and then try to give me a few points. What are the things you need to do? You must do in group discussion. What are the things you must avoid while in group discussion?
Sir, first point we should be in listening and understanding mode.
Superb. We should be listening and understanding mode. Superb. Any other points? Any other
We
points?
should hear everybody's point of view.
Superb. We should listen to everybody's point of view. Superb. Any other observation?
After all put their point, at last one by one we should put our point of view or put our decision.
Okay.
We should wait. We should wait to our number to express our
number. Okay. We should wait to our opportunity to speak. Okay. Good. Any other points? Gautam ma'am, you can give me any points.
The person who is organizing group discussion, we may call him boss. First we listen the subject of that group discussion.
Good. So the
we
person
have to follow the moderator's instructions.
Okay, we have to follow the moderator's instructions. All right. So without wasting any time, let's start the continuation of group discussion. Discussion etiquette, do's and don'ts. So today we are going to talk about the do's and don'ts of group discussion. So yesterday we discussed what are the points, key points related to group discussion, like what does it mean by group discussion, what are the prerequisites, and what are the concepts we need to follow. So how to prepare, everything we discussed. Now we are going to talk about do's and don'ts of group discussion. First, do's. Take initiative. So whenever we are participating in a group discussion, we should take the initiative, but we should never wait for the opportunity. This is the first point we need to keep in mind. We should take the lead. We should take the initiative to start the discussion. Why should we wait for others to speak? Why should we wait for others to speak and complete their version? This is not the right way of participating in group discussion. If you are in the group discussion, in the sense you are given prime importance. Once you are there in the group discussion, you have complete liberty to start the discussion. Okay, so take initiative. No need to wait for others to speak and complete their version. You can start directly if you have good knowledge about the topic. No need to worry about that. Next,
Sir,
stay with the, yes,
sir,
yeah.
sir, complete the version.
No. Whatever they want to say, why should we wait till they?
No, it's okay. You are right, sir. But this, I can't hear properly the word
Version, yes, complete version, yes. Why should
version.
we? Yes. Why should we wait till they complete their point of view? We don't need
Point
to
of
wait
view.
till then. Yes, we don't need to wait.
Version and point of view is the same thing.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So everyone has given this equal opportunity in the group discussion. No one has given more priority. No one has given less priority. So as it is a group discussion, mostly everyone will be given equal rights, equal importance. So in that case, we don't need to wait to others till they complete their point of view. All right. So you can start, but whenever you are starting the group discussion, whenever you are taking the initiative, you need to understand only one particular point, that whether you have complete knowledge about the topic or not. You should look after that. If you have good knowledge about the topic, you can start the introduction, I mean initiation, and then you can continue till whatever wherever you can set a proper platform for the discussion, right? Those who are taking initiative, they should be responsible for setting up proper platform for discussion. We should be able to create a platform for discussion. So most of the people, unknowingly, what they used to do is, they'll give only one point or just the meaning of the topic and they'll leave. It is not the right way. Once we are taking the initiative, once we are starting the discussion, in the sense, we should give what does it mean by that point, I mean that question, whatever the topic we are discussing, we need to give the meaning. If we have some historical evidence, you can give. If you have any statistical data, that can also be shared. Once you have shared all this data, then after, what you should do is, you need to create a discussion point. You need to create a platform for the discussion, right? If you create one point for the discussion, then automatically the next person will jump onto that platform and they'll start sharing their view. Like that, everyone will be able to participate in the discussion. That is the very important aspect we need to keep in mind. And then second point, stay with the topic. Whatever we have assigned, whatever the topic we have given, we should stick to the topic. We should never deviate from the topic. If someone deviating from the topic, it is our responsibility to restore them to the topic. We should bring back to them. We should bring back them to the topic, actual topic. Right? Next, think before you speak. Right? Before we are participating, before we are talking anything in the group discussion, it is prime important thing that we should think. Right? Without knowing a clear point, if you observe the previous picture, the first person is thinking that his points are invalid. Okay, his points are invalid. He thinking about this guy that his points are invalid. Okay. Sometimes what happens, if you don't have clear idea about the topic, it's a good idea to wait some time and pursue other points, others point of views. Then only you can give your point of view. All right. Without knowing the topic, if you speak whatever you want to speak, it makes a little bit embarrassment to others, and it's going to spoil your opportunities to win the group discussion. Right. Next, make original points and support them by substantial reasoning. So whatever you are talking, first of all, what you need to do is you need to make a statement. You need to make a point. While you are stating a point, what you need to understand is whatever the statement you are making, you should be able to justify that. For example, if you say all human beings are social animals, all human beings are social animals, or simply human being is a social animal. This is the statement you made. You need to explain that how, why you are using that statement. You should be able to justify that, right? So whatever the statements we are giving, we should be able to give certain examples which can give some support to your point, which can validate your point that is true. Okay, so whatever the points we are giving, we should be able to justify that point. Then only it will show to others that you are speaking with valid points. Without the valid point, if you make some say statements, right? Most of the people, they used to give some quotations without complete explanation. If you don't give complete explanation, what happens? Though you use apt quotations, though you used good statements, they can't be able to work out. They can't be able to give you success. You need to give some more extra effort to make your points strong, make your points valid. Then only it will be able to acceptable to other people, because in a group discussion, whoever there in the group, the team, mostly everyone tries to get their best. Everyone tries to give their best. Everyone tries to get the opportunity to show off themselves. So whenever you get the opportunity, you need to show off yourself. Showing off in the sense, it doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want, but you have to abide by the rules. You have to play the game according to the rules. Then only you will be able to get the success. All right. Discussion etiquette. Continuation of those. Listen to the other participants actively and carefully. Whenever someone is talking, it's a good habit for everyone that you should take notes. It doesn't mean that you should, you should bend your head and you can write it down. So while you are participating in a group discussion, three things you need to keep in mind. Point one, you need to maintain proper eye contact. Point number two, you should be a good listener. You have to listen always. Point number three, whatever you are listening, your hand should start writing. Right? So these are the very three important points. Look at them, listen to them, and then make a note. Right? If you make some notes, what happens? If you want to add something to that person's comments, you can add by referring those points. Right? If you want to agree or disagree, you can refer them. Actually, this guy said this is this point. Now I would like to add something to that point. Or now I'm agreeing with him. I'm not agreeing with him. Right? Like that, whatever you want to say, you can say. How can you say that? Because you're already making a notes on that. Okay, that's why you need to maintain a proper notes whenever you are participating in the group discussion. It's a mandatory to carry a pen and piece of paper for group discussion. If possible, try to carry a handbook, a small pocket handbook. Right. Next, be polite to the group. So if you observe on the first pick, he just stand and has been he kept one hand on the table and he raised his next hand and he is shouting. If you observe that person, he is in aggressive mode. Okay. Whenever we are participating in any group discussion, we should be polite and we have to respect every participant. Every participant. No question whether they are participating well or whether they are not participating well. If they participate well, they may get good feedback. If they don't participate well, again they'll get their feedback. We don't need to bother about others, but we should respect all the people. If someone talking, we need to listen to them. We need to understand what they are saying. Next, regulate your voice through tone modulation. Whenever you are talking, you need to use proper pitch. Your tone should be modulated. You need to modulate your tone. You need to use your voice properly. It should not be very high. It should not be very low. It should be moderate. Medium, moderate in the sense medium. It should not be very high. If it is very high in the sense, it shows that you, whether it might be you are so angry or whether it might be you are feeling nervous. The similar way, if your voice is too low, then automatically it shows that you are so nervous and you don't have confidence. You're not interested in participation, like that. So for even for voice modulation also impact your group discussion, your participation in the discussion, right? So even the voice modulation is also very important aspect in group discussion. And try to get your turn. Here they did not say that wait for the opportunity, but try to get your opportunity. Try to get your opportunity. Try to get your turn. How can we get your turn? For example, someone is talking. The first person or second person, whoever it might be, someone is talking. While they are talking, if they give pauses, continuous pauses, you can intervene by saying, excuse me, like by taking the permission, and you can intervene if you want to add any important point. Or if you feel that someone completed their speech, then you can jump into the topic. Okay? The best way to enter into the conversation is wait for others till complete their point of view. For example, the person one is talking. While he is talking, let him complete his point of view. Once he completes, the very next moment, there is no need to wait for the second person. Directly you can add. You can grab the opportunity to participate. That is the best thing you can do. And try to get your turn. Use the person's name to get attention and then make your point. For example, if you want to refer to any person's point, then it's a good idea to take their names. Instead of saying, I agree with my friend, I agree with my colleague, like that, instead of saying common names, it's a good idea to get their name. It's a good idea to use their name. How can you come to know that their names? How can you come to know their names? Before the discussion, they'll give you at least 5 minutes time. In that 5 minutes time, what you all need to do is you need to make introduction of yourselves. That's a good idea to get to know each others, right? So if you introduce to the other person, automatically they'll also respond to you. So it's a good idea to introduce each others before the participation. Then automatically you'll come to know that who is who. Right? Once you know all the names, then automatically you can use their names for making any reference or to get the attention of that particular participant. Good. Next. So far we discussed do's. Now we are talking about Don'ts of group discussion. Don'ts. What are the things we should not do? What are the things we should avoid while in the group discussion? Change of opinions. Change of opinions. So, for example, in the beginning, you strongly supported one particular point, right? In the beginning, you strongly supported one particular point. While the discussion going on, by listening to all the other participants, what you do, you changed your point of view, and then you are giving the statement which is exactly opposite to the statement you made earlier. This is what called change of opinions. While we are in the discussion, we should not change the opinions. It shows that your way of looking at the things. It shows that your way of talking. It shows that your attitude, that you don't stick on to your opinions. You don't stick on to your words. Right? So it's not a good way. It's not the right practice to change opinions. Right? Next, don't make mockery of any participant, even his arguments are funny. Right? So if someone has done something wrong, we should never ever do mockery. We should never make mockery of anyone, because we have to respect each and every participant. Right? Of course, sometimes what happens in the discussions, if someone does something wrong, automatically we may feel a little funny out of that incident. But though you feel funny out of that, but you should not make any mockery on that. You should never ever need to criticize them. We can't get anything by simply criticizing others, right? So if you don't get anything, then what's the point in making that? What's the point in doing that? Correct? So it's not a right or a good idea to make mockery of others. It's simply spoil our image only. So it's a good idea to not to do anything, not to criticize anything, not to criticize anyone. Right, next. Excessive use of personal anecdotes and experiences. This is also a little problematic situation. Some people, they used to talk about, always they used to talk about themselves. I have done like this, I did like that. When I was a student, when I was then. Like, see, everyone, most of the people, they used to showcase themselves more rather than the topic. Right? See, by simply quoting our examples, by simply quoting our personal examples always, it doesn't work out. We can be able to get much attention from the audience. Right? So if there are any certain examples, if we have any certain examples to make some reference, you just can make some reference. But excessive use of personal anecdotes and experiences or never work out. They don't work out. It's not a good idea to overuse. Next, rest properly. These are the few points we need to keep in mind before participating in any discussion. Dress properly. Whenever we are participating in a discussion, you should wear proper dress. Proper dress in the sense formal clothes. Even your clothes also indicates your attitude. So it's not a good idea to use poor clothes. We should use proper dress code for any discussion. Next, be confident. Whenever we are participating in a discussion, we should be confident. Keep a pen and paper. It's mandatory for discussion, because while someone is talking to us, we need to make some notes. Then only we will be able to understand the concept. You may ask, why should we make a note? Why should we take some notes on others' points of view? Let me give you an example. For example, you have given the opportunity to conclude the topic. You have given the opportunity to conclude the topic. In that case, if you See, remembering all the points, sometimes it may be a difficult thing. But if you write it down on the piece of paper directly, you can say simply. So according to Pramod, this is what the point made by Pramod Kumar. Right? This is one point made. This is what the point made by Alok. This is what the point made by Vasuda. This is what the point made by the like that. So you can give some references and you can give proper conclusion. If you give the point and whose point it is, then it shows that you are keen on that discussion. It shows that you are very interested in that topic. You are interested in that discussion. So it shows your positive angle of discussion. So that is the why. That is the why we should maintain. We should use. We should keep a pen and a paper. Next, body language. This is very important. So how to sit, how to use your gestures, how to maintain proper body language, how to maintain proper eye contact, how to maintain proper smile on your face. Everything matters. And do not interrupt frequently. If someone is talking, it's not a good idea to interrupt. If needed, if it is needed to interrupt, in that case, it's a good idea to take the permission. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Here I would like to add. Like that, you can stop them, you can intervene, and you can make your point. After your point, try to convey thanks for they have given the opportunity. Thanks for the opportunity. Next, communication skills. While we are participating in the discussion, we should have proper communication skills, good communication skills. Initiate the discussion. Whenever you get the opportunity to start the discussion, it's a good idea to start. If you have good command over the topic, it's a nice idea, nice opportunity to take the opportunity to initiate the discussion. And do not be aggressive. Never be aggressive on the discussion. Throughout the discussion, you should never show any strong emotions on your face. Either it might be the angry, either it might be happiness. If someone is agreeing with you in the sense, automatically you feel somewhat happy, but you should never show that happiness. You should never show that angriness. If someone disagree with you, automatically you may feel a little bad about him, but it should be under your mask. The face should always maintain a proper mask with smiling on your face. No one can be able to understand whether you are feeling very sad about the topic or you are feeling very happy about the topic, whether you are feeling exciting, right? We don't need to show the strong emotions on your face. Maintain a little smile on the face and try to participate complete discussion. And acknowledge others' points. If you want to refer any points, it's a good idea to acknowledge others' points. Do not keep points in store. Right? So if you have information with you, it's a good thing, it's a best thing you can execute yourself. You can show off yourself, but you should never keep the points in store. You know the concept, but most of the people, what they do is, if they don't have proper confidence, if they are feeling a little bit nervous, they can't be able to participate. They know the points, but they are not able to participate. It's not a good idea. If you know the topic, it's a great opportunity you have given. Try to participate, try to speak on that. Next, do not get personal. If someone is talking, it might be against you or it might be supporting you. You should never take it personal. This is just a discussion, so you should participate as you are participating in the discussion. You should never you should never make any attachments to the topic. You should never make any attachments to the points or the persons whom they are talking. Right? So it is not a good idea to get personal and be flexible. So you should be flexible, you should be able to participate, you should be able to mingle with all the team members alike and participate throughout and do not repetitive. You should be able to participate the whole discussion. So whenever you get the opportunity to participate, you should be able to speak. And you need to keep in mind that you should never repetitive. So whatever the points you are making, you should be clear enough that whether it's that point has been stated before or not. If already the same point stated, it's not a good idea to restate it. You should avoid that point, and you can give next point, the further point. And remember, you are in a team. You should remember that you are in a team. You are not individual participant and you are not alone. You are in a proper team. You should understand that, and you have to work as you are in the team and motivate others. If someone feeling nervous, if someone is not able to participate, if someone lagging behind, it's a great opportunity you have. Just try to motivate them. You just need to push them up a little. That shows your leadership qualities. Next, summarize the discussion. If you have given the opportunity to conclude the topic, it's a good idea to summarize the discussion. According to the time, you need to summarize the discussion. Next, important points in group discussion. Important points in group discussion. First, be assertive. An assertive person is direct, honest, and careful about not to hurt others' self-respect. Right? So we should be assertive. We should never ever give any indirect comments or any other. Some people, they used to give, for example, if you want to talk about one point, instead of giving that point directly, I'm not talking about all the people, some people, if they want to talk about one particular point, rather than talking about that point directly, what they do is they'll give unnecessary information, some unnecessary information. So by giving all these kind of information, the actual point may be overlooked. We may not, the rest of the person may not be able to get that point clearly. So you should be clear enough, direct and honest. Whatever the information you are speaking, it should be true. Don't try to deceive others. Of course, you may be the expert in deceiving others, but what happens? You may think that no one knows that. But if you don't know whether the other person has a good command over the topic or not. If you try to deceive anyone, if any one of the team members have a good knowledge about the topic, automatically we will be caught. Then automatically we have to feel ashamed of ourselves. So it's not a good idea to try to cheat others. We should always be honest. If you don't know the point, no wrong in it, you can convey that you don't know that point. All right. Next, never try to hurt others. It doesn't mean that you should lose your self-respect. You should maintain your self-respect, simultaneously hurt respect others. That's why there is an old saying, give respect and take respect. This is the equation we should follow. We should give the respect as well as we should take the respect. And be a patient listener. All right. Here they said a patient listener, but they did not mention that a passive listener. It's been written as a patient listener. You should be able to listen carefully and patiently. If someone is talking, wait until they complete their point. Some people who doesn't have proper listening skills, what they do is poor listening skills. A person with poor listening skills, what they usually do is, instead of waiting till the end of the discussion, end of the discussion in the sense, end of their point, they'll unnecessarily interrupt the speaker and they'll jump into the speaking. It's not a good idea. It's not a proper manner. We should wait until they complete. If you are feeling that they are talking invalid point, you can raise that point and you can explain why it is invalid, why you are feeling that it is invalid. You can give your explanation with proper examples, proper evidence. Next, use appropriate language. So language, this is what called choice of words. So whatever the words we are using, those words should reflect your attitude. So whatever the words we are using, no doubt they'll reflect our attitude. If you use unnecessary words, if you use improper words, then automatically it will impact your attitude, it will impact your character. So we should never use inappropriate words, improper words. We have to use appropriate language, proper language, and be precise and authentic. So whatever the data you are speaking, it should be precise and authentic. It should be sweet and short and true. It should be true. You should never ever give any false information to the discussion. You should never add any false information to the discussion. You should never give any wrong directions to the participants. Next, accept criticism. You should be able to accept criticism if someone is trying to give you the criticism, if someone is trying to criticize. If any one of the member, if any member of the group criticizes or disapproves a point, absolutely welcome. So whenever I want to talk about this accept criticism, I used to say only one statement. If someone is disagreeing with you, let's agree to disagree. You should agree to disagree. Then only you can do your business happily. If someone is disagreeing, if someone is commenting, let them comment, let them disagree. What's wrong in it? They have their freedom, right? So if someone is disagreeing, in the sense, you should agree to that. That is what the statement can easily understand. That let's disagree, let's agree to disagree, right? In case the criticism is conceived, then the same can be pointed out politely. For example, if you realize that criticism is not true, that criticism is not proper way, you can raise that point, but it should be polite. For example, unnecessarily someone commented you. If another person, someone unnecessarily pointed at you, they have given a wrong comment on your point. If they interpreted your point, in that case, you can give your valid point that they misunderstood the concept, and you can give it in a polite manner. But you should never show any aggressiveness. And show leadership quality. A group discussion also evaluates your leadership qualities. Whenever you are participating in a discussion, you should be able to show your leadership qualities. If you don't show your leadership qualities always, automatically you will be in a second or third position, not in the first position. So those who are expecting the higher position, those who are expecting the top positions, we should show that leadership qualities. Once we show that leadership qualities, then only they'll be able to offer us a good position in that organization. Right. Accept others' points of view. We need to be able to accept other points, whether they are talking positive or negative to you. It's not at all a matter. If they are talking positive, okay, accept it. If they are talking negative, no issue, accept it. So accept the people, accept the persons and situations as they are. This is the statement you can use here, I think. Right? So you need to accept it directly and express your argument with few facts, cases, values, newspaper publications, etc. So whenever you are raising any point, you need to justify that particular point with evidence, few facts, cases, next values, newspapers, publications, right? So by showing some data reference, simply we can say, whenever you are talking about any particular point, you need to show some reference. Yes, according to this, according to that. So in this article, this is what the concept. According to this survey, this is what the statement. Like that, you need to give some factual information which can give a lot of support to your point, and express without hurting others' feelings. Need to express your points, but it should never hurt others. You don't have any right to hurt others. Clear? Right. Next. So these are few suggestions whenever you are participating in a discussion. Never try to bluff. It's not a good idea to bluff others. If you try to bluff others, no doubt automatically we are going to ruin our opportunities. Control your emotions. Control your emotions. It's a good idea to maintain or simply balance your emotions. Next, focus on quality of content rather than quantity. Most of the people, they feel that if you speak much time, if you speak more number of times, it might be give you a lot of opportunities. Never. You should focus on quality of content, not on the quantity. How many times you have spoken, it doesn't matter. Though you have given only once presentation, if your content is superb, then automatically you will be selected for the next round, right? So no need to focus on the quantity, but you should focus on quality of the content and get noticed, but for the right reasons. So you can show off yourself, but it should be with proper manner. For example, if someone is not participating, you observed him since the beginning of the discussion, 5 minutes already completed, but still he is not able to take the opportunity, he is not able to speak. In that case, he can get the opportunity to showcase yourself that you have good leadership skills. You can give the opportunity to him, but you should remember that whether you have participated or not, you should look after that. First you participate, next give the opportunity to the next person. That is the good way. Without participating yourself, if you offer the chance to others, in the sense you are acting smart before others. And remember, speech is a powerful weapon, right? You should remember that speech is a powerful weapon. Any doubts? Do you have any doubts on this group discussion?
No, sir. Points are very good, sir.
Okay, thank you.